by the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity. By his own brother and some members of the Ogboni. That Oba Akenzua must belong
to the Ogboni.
How can? He's the Oba of Benin. Whoever is in Benin will be under him. I will be a patron to all societies.
Yes.
You can't do this. You can oko no hwa or edake or yoba.
It is an extraordinary account that during a struggle for political power in Benin, influential members of the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity sought to bring the Oba himself into their organization, and that Oba Akenzua II refused. But did it actually happen? Historical records confirm that Akenzua became locked in a bitter confrontation with one of the most powerful men in Benin politics at the time. His name was Gaius Obaseki. Gaius was the Iyase of Benin, but he was also a leading figure in the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity in Benin. And the confrontation between these two powerful men would become part of a much larger struggle. The authority of the Oba was challenged. His financial position came under pressure. Political opposition grew, and resistance to the influence of the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity began to spread. By 1951, the confrontation had become so serious that the political struggle in Benin was being described in extraordinary terms: Ogboni or Benin. The central allegation you have just heard presents us with a historical mystery. Was Oba Akenzua II actually asked to join the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity? Did he refuse? And if he did, was that refusal one of the events that helped ignite the struggle that followed? We went looking for the evidence, and what we found was a story much bigger than one alleged refusal. A story about colonial conquest, a powerful throne, an influential chief, and a controversial fraternity, and the political struggle that will become intertwined with the campaign to reshape the map of Nigeria. But to understand how all of this became possible, we have to go back before Gaius Obaseki became Iyase, back before Akenzua became Oba, back to the moment when the political order of Benin Kingdom was fundamentally transformed. 1897. In February 1897, British forces launched a military expedition against the Kingdom of Benin. Benin City was captured. The royal palace was looted. Thousands of objects, including the works now widely known as the Benin Bronzes, were removed from the palace and dispersed across Britain, and eventually museums and collections around the world. But what happened in 1897 was about more than the loss of art. It fundamentally changed the political order of Benin. For centuries, the Oba had stood at the center of a complex system of government, involving palace chiefs, town chiefs, guides, and institutions whose authority was deeply rooted in the kingdom. The British conquest disrupted that system. Oba Ovonramwen Nogbaisi was captured and sent into exile in Calabar. And for the next 17 years, Benin had no reigning Oba. In the vacuum created by the removal of the monarchy, the British established colonial administration over Benin, and they needed local figures through whom they could govern. One man would become especially important: Chief Ago Obaseki. Ago had already been an influential figure in Benin, but under British colonial rule, his political importance grew considerably. He became one of the principal intermediaries between the colonial administration and the people of Benin. For years, while the throne remained vacant, Ago occupied an extraordinarily influential position within the new political order. Then, in 1914, something changed. The monarchy was restored. Prince Aigo Bazinwe, the son of the exiled Oba Overanwe, ascended the throne as Oba Iweka II. The Oba had returned, but the Benin to which the monarchy returned was no longer the Benin of 1896. The British remained the colonial authority. New administrative structures had been created. Powerful chiefs had acquired influence within those structures, and the relationship between the restored throne and the colonial political establishment would not always be an easy one. Among the most consequential relationships was that between Oba Iweka II and Chief Ago Obaseki. Their struggle reflected a much larger question created by colonial rule. Where did political authority in Benin now reside? With the Oba? With the powerful chiefs? With the councils operating under colonial administration? Or ultimately with the British officials who stood above them all? The question would outlive both men, because Iweka had a son. His name was Akenzua, and Ago Obaseki also had a son. His name was Gaius. Years later, those two sons would inherit much more than their father's name. They would inherit a struggle over power. And in 1933, when Akenzua ascended the throne of Benin, the next chapter of that struggle was about to begin. In 1933, following the death of his father, Iweka II, Prince Akenzua ascended the throne as Oba Akenzua II. But he inherited a monarchy different from the one his ancestors had known. Benin was now firmly under British colonial rule. The Oba remained the traditional and cultural center of the kingdom, but political authority now operated through colonial institutions, councils, and officials. And the tensions created during his father's reign had not simply disappeared. Chief Ago Obaseki remained one of the most influential figures in Benin until his death in 1956. And eventually, another member of the Obaseki family would emerge at the center of the political struggle: Ago's son, Gaius Obaseki. In 1948, Gaius became the Iyase of Benin, one of the most important traditional offices in the kingdom. But his emergence as Iyase was itself controversial. Historical accounts indicate that Akenzua had initially preferred another candidate for the position. Yet, after political pressure and intervention within the colonial system, Gaius ultimately became Iyase. That meant two powerful centers of authority now stood within the same political landscape. On one side was Oba Akenzua II. On the other was Iyase Gaius Obaseki. And their disagreement would not remain simply a palace dispute, because Gaius possessed another important connection. He was a prominent figure in the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity. The fraternity has been established in the early 20th century and had grown into an influential organization with members drawn from Nigeria's emerging professional and political social elite. In Benin, however, its growing influence became deeply controversial, and according to the testimony with which we began this documentary, it was during this period that an extraordinary proposal was made that Oba Akenzua himself should become a member of the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity. According to that account, the Oba refused. But this is where we have to separate oral testimony from what the documentary recorded can independently establish. By the late 1940s, Gaius Obaseki occupied an extraordinary position in Benin politics. He was the Iyase of Benin. He held considerable influence within the political institution of the period, and he was also a leading figure in the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity in Benin. That concentration of influence increasingly placed him at odds with Oba Akenzua II. The dispute was no longer simply about two powerful personalities. It was about power, about the authority of the throne, and about who would shape the political future of Benin. During this period, the Benin Divisional Council took measures that affected the position of the Oba. Akenzua's salary and allowances came under pressure. Restrictions were also placed on aspects of the Oba's traditional authority. To supporters of the emerging political system, these measures could be presented as part of the new form of administration. But to supporters of Oba Akenzua, something far more serious was happening. They believed the authority of the Benin throne was being deliberately weakened, and the growing influence of the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity made the confrontation even more controversial. Critics alleged that members of the fraternity were using political influence to advance the interests of their fellow members. Not every allegation made during this bitter political period can now be independently established, but the opposition that followed was very real. A political movement known as Otu-Edo emerged as an important force in Benin. It rallied support around the defense of Benin's traditional institutions and position of the Oba. The struggle was becoming bigger than Akenzua and Gaius. It was becoming a battle over what kind of political order Benin would have. And by 1951, party politics had added another dimension to the confrontation. Gaius Obaseki became associated with the Action Group led by Obafemi Awolowo. For his opponents in Benin, the combination of party politics, the influence of powerful chiefs, and concerns surrounding the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity intensified an already bitter struggle. Otu-Edo mobilized against the political forces associated with Gaius, and the balance of political power began to shift. Yet, something remarkable happened in the years that followed. Despite the confrontation between them, both Oba Akenzua II and Gaius Obaseki would participate in the wider political institutions of the Western region. Their rivalry had exposed deep divisions within Benin, but another political question was beginning to overshadow those divisions. Should Benin and the surrounding provinces continue to remain within the Western region, or should the people of the area have a region of their own? It was a question that would eventually bring former political rivals onto common ground, and Oba Akenzua II would become one of the most important traditional voices in the campaign. The struggle over Ogboni influence was giving way to another historic struggle, the struggle of the creation of the Midwest region. So, was Oba Akenzua II actually asked to join the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity? Based on the evidence we have examined, there is no simple answer. The historical records confirm that a serious political struggle took place in Benin. It confirms that Gaius Obaseki became Iyase of Benin and was a leading figure in the Reformed Ogboni Fraternity. It confirms that the authority and financial position of Oba Akenzua came under pressure during this period. And it confirms that opposition to the political influence associated with the fraternity became an important part of the struggle in Benin. Perhaps future archival discoveries will provide a clearer answer. For now, what we can establish is significant enough. Behind the story of an Oba who allegedly refused Ogboni membership lies a documented struggle over authority, tradition, and political power in 20th century Benin. A struggle involving two powerful families, a throne transformed by colonial rule, an influential fraternity, and political divisions that unfolded during one of the most consequential periods in Nigeria's constitutional history. Whether Akenzua actually uttered the refusal remains an unresolved part of the story, but the struggle surrounding his throne was very real, and its consequences became part of the history of Benin. This has been the Civic Report News. We ask the hard questions and follow the evidence and report the facts.